Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining Create with Dee. I'm Dee Slater, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. Today, I have a fun fold for you. It's a diagonal fun fold. It opens up like this. And you might think, oh my goodness, this is so hard, but really it's just a few easy score lines on your trimmer and you'll be all set, I promise. Today's video, I am recording it. I've got some doctor's visits, everything okay, just normal routine stuff. And it kind of interfered with the timing of when I needed to normally go live. But I have this going live during the live time, if that makes sense. So I will be checking back with comments and everything a little later on this afternoon if you happen to be watching it at noon, which is normally the time that I have. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. But anyways, I'm real excited to share this project with you. It's a little different fold, kind of when you get bored with the standard, 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half, something to kind of spark your creativity. And I've got two sneak peeks of some of the new products coming up in the 2025 holiday mini catalog from Stampin' Up! They call it the September through December mini catalog, but I think collectively we kind of all call it the holiday catalog. All right, let me turn the camera around and we'll get started with today's project. Oops, I'll get this out of there. That's reflecting just a little bit. Well, today I have two different products to share with you, like some sneak peeks. One, this is a new designer paper called North Pole Delivery. And it's so super cute. It's got, all sorts of little critters on some of the paper that's delivering our mail from the North Pole. So here's some dogs and cats. Here's some woodland animals. We've got postage boxes, like Old Town wintry scenes, packages, some nice background paper, etc. So super fun. And here's the little trick one that I did on the sample. So we'll be using that paper and then also in that paper pack. And this is what I was excited to create with you. You get two separate punch out sheets of elements. So like here's one of the little trucks and I wanted to show you the whole sheet of what these look like. But then after this video, I'll punch all of these out because once you start punching them, they kind of start falling out. You guys know how those go. But one of it is like delivery trucks, houses, and that. And then the other punch out sheet is those little critters and packages. So you have some of the woodland, some of the dogs and cats. So it makes for really easy card making. And so I just wanted to share that with you, and we'll be choosing something out of that later on. Also, there's a matching bundle that's part of a suite of products. I did not get the bundle on it. I got the paper to play with. But what I'm going to use with the sentiments, because I knew it had the punch outs. And so this is a good way of kind of being able to use some of the images with it when you see that they have the punch outs, that you can just add your own sentiments. So I wanted to show that with you as well. And probably one of my favorite bundles that's coming up September 3rd is this traditional labels. And the reason why I like it is it's always nice to kind of have new sentiments, different shapes and fonts and everything. And you find that all in one stamp set. It is the photopolymer, so you can see all of the different greetings there, and they're nice sizes. And just going to be able to coordinate beautifully. And I love all of these. I can't wait to play with them a lot more down the road. We're going to use this double banner one here today. All right, so maybe put that on your wish list come September 3rd. All right, let's jump right in and we'll get started. Let me do this real quickly here. Put my little, whoops. Let's do this again. It's like it's my first time. Not. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got it backwards. Okay, hang with me just a What in the world? Oh my gosh. Hey, there we go. Oh my lordy, lordy, that was too long. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll pull up the measurements. You guys have been loving this. I keep talking about it, but I'm so happy that I can do this for you. So here's a screenshot. Super easy, super easy. We just need a card base. I'm using Poppy Parade 4 1/4 by 7 1/2, and we're going to score it at 2 1/2 and 5. 4 pieces of designer paper that are 4 by 2 1/4, and it's better if you have, I think, anyways, you have 2 different designs. So you'd have 2 on one design and 2 of another design. And then we need a basic white for the inside. Same measurements, 4 by 2 1/4. Oh my gosh, so easy. All right. So, and this will be so nice to be able to, what do I want to say? It's not a whole lot of product, but oh my gosh, what an impact on just that little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I've got my Poppy Parade. Again, this is 4 1/4 by 7 1/2. And we are going to score it. I know, just everyone that watches me probably says, you didn't score it ahead of time. I'm like, no, I want to show you how that we're going to use our trimmer for this. All right, so we're going to score it at 2 1/2 and at 5. All right, so we've just created 3 panels here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold this so that we can see where the score lines are at. All right, so here's what that looks like. All right, so we're going to be using, open it up, and this is going to be the inside. We're going to score diagonally from the top left to the bottom right on the outer panels. So both of them are going to go in the same direction. So I'm going to lift up my arm, and I'm going to, here's the score line, and then put your end of it, your the lower right hand on your track. Line it up. And we're going to score. All right. So we just did a diagonal score. Easy so far, right? You guys, we all can do it. And we're just going to go ahead and slide our card base over, and we're going to do the same thing with the left panel. Upper left to lower right. So those diagonals are going in the same direction. Line up the ends on the track and score. All right, so we just made a diagonal score here. Hopefully that you can see that, and a diagonal score going in the same direction. All right, if you can do that, you can make this card. It's so fun. All right, so now let me go ahead and bring the sample out here. All right, so what we're going to do next is both of these diagonals are mountain folds. Okay, I'm going to do something here. I don't know if this is echoing or not. Okay, so both of these are mountain folds. So what that means is we're going to push them away from each other. Okay, so I push that backwards and backwards so that you have a peak and a peak. That's what's called a mountain fold. All right, so that's how that looks. So when this collapses on itself, there's our fun fold. So you might notice here that it won't ever line up exactly because we've got our cardstock depth on it. But one of the things that helps is to get that fold closer together, that diagonal, is we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to push all of the folds, the score lines away from us. So I'm going to take this. This is the one of the 5 or the 2.5, and I'm just going to push that in. And then I'm going to fold this down, and again, we're going to push it towards the center. It just kind of helps it move just enough to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do it with the other side. Push it towards the center. Fold it down and push it towards the center. It just kind of helps shorten or like flatten those crease lines. And so there you can see that it, just that little bit really helped close the gap, so to speak. Okay, that's the fold. Now what we have to do is decorate. All right, so ahead of time, I do have my 4 panels. Look at this cute little critters with the male. So cute. Look at that little hedgehog. Adorable, adorable, adorable. This just happens to be the same sheet of designer paper, but I love the neutral backing of this, but you can mix and match your paper patterns. But I'm going to use 2 of them for the front and 2 of them for the back. So let's do the front panels here first, and I want to use the critter side for that. I'm going to get my trimmer, put it just out of reach. All right, so for the front panels, and I can cut 2 of these at the same time. So I make sure I've got it going in the direction that I want. And just like we did for the scoring on the diagonal, we want to start from the upper left to the lower right. So I can go ahead and trim these at the same time. If you're not comfortable with that, you can do it, 2 different times, but I just do it at the same time. Again, upper left to lower right. Line up those points. And when you do your trimming, go fast. Okay, so we're going to go real fast. That way it doesn't get stuck. All right, so we're going to put these aside. And let's go ahead and we'll put these on first. So we'll come back to the trimmer here in just a little bit. All right, so let's open this back up and let's put our panels on. I like matching up the images. It's up to you how you'd like to mix and match it. But now we can just go ahead and put our panels onto this side. All right, so I'm using liquid glue. Give me a little wiggle room. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made this card, or even better yet, maybe after you see the video, you'll go home and, or not go home, you probably are home, but maybe you'll go to get out your stamping stash and try this. Again, it's just, I think it's a simple score diagonally and a simple cut diagonally. And this is what I would call a wow card, that it's, people are going to say, how in the world did you make this? And you don't have to tell them that it was easy. All right, so we'll just put and just try to stay away from the center score line here. Okay, so now we've just done that. So we've decorated the inside. Now let's do the outside. I'm going to bring my trimmer back in. So for the back of this, what you'll notice is now when we turn it on the opposite side, the diagonals go in the opposite direction. So when we cut our decorative panels, we want to go opposite, which means we're going to go from the upper right to the lower left. Again, I'm going to cut my diagonals at the same time. And again, this paper size is 4 by 2 1/4. Get those on there. And when you do it, slide it fast. Okay, there we go. Now I'm officially done with the trimmer. All right, so let's go ahead and bring our panel back in. And you will know right away if you cut it right. So It's just follow. So when you get ready to cut your panel, just look at what side you're on and just follow the diagonal fold, and that's your diagonal cut. Now on these, it doesn't matter. You can mix and match these. They're just a nice background pattern. And we'll get the back panels decorated. Here in Indiana, we have had a nice week of very fall-like weather. After being unusually warm, we've had a record low this week, overnight low. But quite honestly, after all of the heat, we're all kind of welcoming the reprieve from it all. Don't want to hurry summer along by any means, but it's nice to have that little relief again. Okay, so then that's what the back panels look like. Okay, so let's turn it over again. And so when we fold these in, now we've just made this beautifully coordinated card here, this fun fold. All right, let's go ahead and we'll decorate it or do some stamping and decorating the inside, and I'll keep giving you some tips. All right, so ahead of time, I did die cut from that traditional labeled. I call it like the double banner. And kind of what's nice is that you can do some 3D stuff if you wanted to with that. We're not doing it for this particular one here, but just some other options on that. So I'm using Sending Love and Joy. Like I said, you can mix and match your stamps and stuff. And since this had all of the mail carriers and that, it's like Sending Love and Joy. So it's a perfect match to this designer paper. Again, all of these are going to be available September 3rd, 2025 in the upcoming mini catalog. All right, so Sending Love and Joy. Sorry, my head, if I'm over here, I got to get it centered here a little bit. Again, I'm stamping it with Poppy Parade so it matches the card base. All the stamping I'm going to do for this one. That's going to go on the outside. And this is the white panel for the inside. Same as our outside panel started with. It's 4 by 2 1/4. If you did want to do any stamping on this, do it before you glue it down. But we can go ahead and get that on the inside because we're just going to pop up a coordinating little character from our punch outs. Okay, I'm going to get my punch out sheet here, bring that back in. And depending on, let's see, well, we want to make sure that we use maybe one of the smaller images because we only have a 2 1/2 one here. Let's see. The fox would work. Oh my gosh, this little chipmunk is cute. Oh, the hedgehog is my favorite. Let's put the hedgehog on. He is adorable. Look how cute he is. And then he shows up over here too. I'm going to put a dimensional foam dot on the back of my little hedgehog. He's so adorable. Let's see if I can get him up close. Just makes you smile. All right, little hedgehog, you're going to go up here. Too adorable. Okay, so what I found the trick to making you kind of like, when you look at this, it's like, where do I put the sentiment, right? Because traditionally when we close it up, we think the card's going to be like this. But actually, if we turn it this way, this is up and down. Okay, so this is actually the orientation of the card. So not to get confused, I would recommend just opening it up and using this as your starting point, and then knowing where you can put your sentiment. If you notice on this one that you can go outside the bounds, because remember this is 7 1/2. Okay, so you have a little wiggle room on the outside. And so I'm going to have my sentiment here in this panel. So when it's open, the lower left panel is going to be where I'm putting the sentiment on this one. And let's see, I'm going to probably put 2. Maybe just put them down lightly while you kind of position it. All right, so I'm going to have it look like this. And then if I have it closed, you can see, is that where I want it? It's like I actually want it up a little higher. That's why I just kind of put it down very lightly and go slow, and then you can pull that up. So I'm going to end up centering this, the Sending Love and Joy. Okay, so now when it's closed, it looks like this. All right, so when you might, okay, so that's it. I hope you love it. Look how cute that is. So when they get it, you know, here's what it is, and then you open it up and it kind of flip-flops a little bit. Too fun. A tip when you go to put it in your envelope is that think of having like the ears on the top. So you're going to put it in your envelope like that, and then it'll just fit the top of our A2 envelopes. Okay, so then when they take it out, too cute. So you can write here. If you want to, you can put another panel on the back and do some more writing. But that's our project here for today. I did want to show you another sample that I made using the Gallery Blooms. Okay, so again, here's this, wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. Kind of waiting on whatever I want to put on the inside of that. But here, I put the sentiment on the upper right. So when it's closed, it looks like this. But look, that's the same concept that I did, just use the different coordinating paper from the Gallery Blooms Designer Series paper. So just have fun with all sorts of different motifs with this. All right, let me turn the camera around. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's project. Again, it's a diagonal fun fold, and I really like grab some scrap cardstock, grab some scrap designer paper, your pattern paper that maybe you don't mind if you boo-boo. So, you know, grab some sample papers and give this fold a try, because it might take you time just to, you know, feel comfortable with scoring on the diagonal. But once you get it, you get it. So I hope you give it a try. And, you know, thanks for joining me here today watching this tutorial. If you would do me a favor, please do like or comment on this video. It really helps my algorithm. It helps my channel grow. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye.